something, saying something about his trip that you wanted to recommend. And I had to cut you off because we were running out of time and I knew it was going to die on you. Right.
Yeah. All of Johnny Morris's stuff I thought is kind of expensive, but it's probably worth a shot at least once to go to Top of the Rock. It's up high, it's pretty cool, pretty neat. And as I was saying, you can eat in the pole barn. It was, a log barn that they bought from Arnold Palmer. He grew up with that barn, I guess, and carted it down there and rebuilt it. And
I was going to say, it must have been, because I thought Arnold Palmer was from Pennsylvania or something. So
yep, he was. And the barn came from Pennsylvania.
The barn actually came and they moved it. They moved the barn.
Yep, they took it down log by log and then shipped. Why? Because Johnny Morris wanted it, thought it was a popular thing to have Arnold Palmer's barn, log barn. So that's pretty cool. It's huge.
Did you go to that Bass Pro Shop in Springfield?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And they've got a museum and stuff.
Neat. That was neat.
Yeah. And
we did that. We went down there a couple of years ago and made it to Springfield, but never went to Branson. I don't know why it wasn't. I don't think it's that much farther, but I don't know if we were running out of time or what the deal was, but.
And let's see. This time they've got a place called Silver Dollar City, where it's only open from March through the end of September, I believe. And it now has an amusement park and stuff, as well as the old world stuff that they originally started with. Originally, it was all crafters and stuff. And Peter Engler used to go out there and carve every day, so people could come and watch. And I'm told that now, since he's passed, that someone else is doing that. But they have a lot of different crafters there doing their crafts. So,
well, I think cool. That's when I Googled that wood carving shops, that's where that other wood carving shop is that just evidently sells completed wood carvings, for sale from other carvers or whatever.
Yeah, maybe they don't have a carver there anymore, but I thought go ahead.
I'm not interested in the rides or whatever, I just like to see the shop and maybe some of the shops or something.
Well, when you
we'll have to check it out and see if you can just go there or something. I don't know.
Yeah. When you go to the carving store, ask them about Silver Dollar City, about if anyone's doing wood carving up there now, and then ask them if their other shop is at Silver Dollar City or if it's someplace else.
Okay.
They'll be able to tell you all about it.
Thank you.
Dogwood Canyon is another thing owned by Johnny Morris. I haven't gone there. It's a nature park. You can walk through, or you can take golf cart rides, supposedly, for several miles through it. And there's, I believe there's buffalo there and other stuff, plus the trails go through nice woods and stuff like that. So that's another option.
Dogwood Canyon?
Dogwood Canyon, right.
I'm stuck. You stuck, break out another tool. Huh? And carve off what you don't want to sand. Gnarly part. Let's go across it. See what happens. Maybe a sand.
How's it going, Fred?
It seems like they're both coming along. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they are shaping up pretty good. Glad to see that. Michelle?
Yeah, just a minute. Gosh. Not ready to show it. I'm actually
Oh.
trying to define that bottom jaw here, mandible,
Okay.
and I'm making a mess of it. Maybe a little.
I don't know, Barry, that might mean you better find a nice piece of basswood to cut her another blank. I don't know.
Yeah, I should have got two like you. I was thinking it's now that Barry is upped his game and is no longer struggling and falling behind like I used to be my comrade. Now I said, well, at least Fred's at my place, but he's doing two. I'm ashamed.
Well, I'm hanging with you. I'm still behind, so.
But you're doing two.
Yeah, you're doing
Sorry.
two of them, Fred.
It just occurred to me he's doing two. That's why he's at my pace.
I think that's really cool that you're doing that, Fred.
Yeah.
I figured that while it's fresh in my head or whatever, I don't know.
Right.
I always intended to do that, but you see, I can hardly handle one. Week 8, we're in week 8, which the original class we taught was 12 weeks, and this was about when we were supposed to be done, ready to paint. Paint was
Yeah, right.
2 weeks, 2 and a bit, and then the finish. So I'm right on track for the old class, but I thought it would go a little faster this time since I have already done one, but that was 2 years ago. And apparently I didn't know what I was doing at the time.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
all
you
right.
did.
Yeah, it's been like 8 or 9 or 10 years for me, so.
Has it really? That's a
Well, with
long
Bob
time.
Dixon, and we've been here like 5.5 years
Have you been there
already.
that long? Wow.
So. And I think the
I
Eagle
do.
Head was one of the first things we did with Bob. I'm not sure. I don't really remember, but
That's one of the first things I did with Gary and Michelle.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
One of the first classes we taught. I think the very first was the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
the one that was supposed to be the cookie jar or whatever it
No,
was.
but Russ brought that up again and said, I really want to do that. And then I
Yeah.
said, well, Dad couldn't get the blank together. He could not figure it out, which was really surprising because Dad always could figure things out like that. I mean, he was an engineer. But I had mentioned to him when he first was excited about doing it and told me he had a plan. I said, oh, are you going to use the same technique that you use for the bandsaw box where you cut it in half and then you hollow one side? I mean, he's like, no. And so then he, 4 or 5 weeks later, he said, we just can't get it together. And I said, are you sure the bandsaw box wouldn't work? And he's like, wow, that technique really would have worked. But by then it was, we missed our deadline for getting it to you guys. So he gave up on it, kind of set it aside. In fact, I didn't come across the model he was using, the cookie jar he had. I
Right.
did not see it in all of his stuff, which is really surprising. Because that should have been one of the first things I saw, because that was one of the last things he was working on.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But, stuff happens. Maybe somebody found the cookie jar and said, oh, this must be Joyce's. Who would think it'd be Dad's, right?
Right.
That's Christmas cookie jar.
Well, that's probably what happened.
Because Joyce was very smart about the whole thing. She assigned people to remove certain parts of the house.
Okay.
She didn't, and it was probably very good. And they were all willing to do it, And they'd ask her if they thought there was something she needed to see or make a decision on. But for the most part, she delegated all the clearing. Which in her state of mind probably was the best choice. I'm sure that would have been horrible for her. It was horrible for me
Yeah. Right.
doing just my little part. So horrible that it's 3 months later and and I was so good with Mom. I went down there. Well, it was different because I only had one day. So I had to make decisions and I did. And then I got on a plane and I shipped a bunch of stuff here. And then Dad came over. I asked him to come over and just sit with me. And he sat here, went through his email, went through his pictures, organized, just sat here while I boo-hooed and went through my boxes. I got it all put up in totes and stuck it in the bedroom and all in one day. So I was much better with her stuff, but I had him to help me to be that person to say, okay, this is your time to do it. And I'll be here and do what you got to do. And don't mind me. I'm just going to be over here doing my thing. All right, pick. I'm ready to show you guys. I did some defining. I think I might need to do more depth here. My lighting's not great for this. But I undercut this under the
Yeah,
under beak. That's all I did. And I did a couple gouge marks for the nostrils. I got them in place where I want them.
okay.
And aside from my off-road stuff, that's all I accomplished so far today. I got a lot of sanding to do, Lucy. That's the part I'm weak. I'm so weak at that. And then I see yours and I'm like, oh. But then I sometimes like the gouge marks. If they could be smooth, good. But if I'm gonna wood burn, I need it to be smoother. So.
Well, if you want the truth, I cheated and I went outside with my Dremel with one of those little drum things, and
Well, I could do that's not cheating. That's sanding too.
it seems like it made it a lot easier. It did take all, a lot of the pock marks from the knife or whatever you want to call them, I guess. I don't know. But from what I remember, in that this thing has to be, pretty smooth or whatever to lay the feathers on and wood burn and stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't. I
that's
think
kind of
sanding
why
is
I
my
did that,
weakest part.
because
I think sanding's my weakest part.
yeah, I don't really enjoy it in anything I do. I mean, I work on those spoons and stuff, and
They gotta be
I
smooth,
like whittling
smooth.
on them and getting them to the sanding point, but really the sanding, I don't know. But that's what you got to do to make it look right or nice or whatever. So
Understand what I know about this honka here. I'm gonna tackle it. Oh, good Lord. What was that? I'll be looking for that. Whatever fell on the floor.
hardwood back there.
Yeah, I've got a hunk that doesn't seem to go away. And it's in a hard spot to reach, so it's probably the right issue. Under the chin here.
I don't know how you guys keep your chisels, or gouges, but when I went to that bark carving class, a lot of the people had painted the top of the handle of their tools and like one color for V tools and one color for
Yeah, I
whatever.
need to do something like that because I have a hard time figuring out what I got.
Or some
Right.
people just, did purple or blue on the end of the handle to designate that was, their gouge or whatever, I guess.
Well,
Because that teacher was nice. She'd, let you borrow whatever you wanted, so you could try something first. But she didn't sell it, but she didn't sell the gouges. But if you tried her OCC number 3 half-inch gouge or whatever, and you liked it, well, she'd let you borrow it to try it or whatever type thing, which was nice.
this is where one could get hurt. So there's no good way to clean this up, I think. Got it. Got it. Better. All right, now for some. There, clean up the base. All right, now, let's see.
Are any carvers still getting together at the Clarkson Senior Center? Just for open carving or anything?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's, 6 to a dozen there at any Friday. There's several of them that'll, like me, drop in one week, not be there the next and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's a core group of at least a half a dozen.
Oh, that's nice. I think Gary and Tom used to go out to Milford too sometimes or something.
yeah.
Yeah, they did, yep.
He gave that up after we added too many classes.
Right,
Well, what he
Well,
did was he got more involved with Waterford, trying to keep the
right.
open. So he was there twice a week, and he's like, "I'm gonna have to cut out something."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he also told me that Milford has become mostly power carving
Oh,
Oh,
people there.
and I think they lost their facility. Were they the ones that lost their facilities during
Yeah, I
COVID?
think it was the high school they were at, and they would
Yeah.
no longer let them. I think they were afraid of liability, with people with knives. And I don't know if they found another place or not. I haven't heard.
Last I heard, they hadn't. So
Okay.
it occurs to me this late in the game, this probably would have gone a lot better if I had stopped to hone my tools, but it would have been a lot easier. But I was too anxious and chomping at the bit.
you forgot to set Ziggy for your
My
Owning
20
time.
minutes. Yeah. Well, that only works if you're using the same tool for 20 minutes. You know, I've been switching. I find I switch tools a lot.
Well,
On
you
my
got
way.
you got plenty of them to switch to, I guess.
Yes, I do. I'm fortunate. Although I've loaned some out, so I could have used them today too, but I need to use another set. Unfortunately, sending Kitty back to school took a big hit on me. Paying for 3 cars insurance at the same time. Got me. So I'll be living the humble life here for a little while.
I don't know. I splurge and take my wife out to dinner to Costco every once in a while.
Costco.
And I'm even nice enough to let her choose whether she wants a hot dog or a piece of pizza.
All right.
Right.
Well,
Yep.
I am surprised you are still married. Costco. You must
Hey, I'm
be.
the best thing that ever happened to her.
Yep.
That's what I say anyway. I don't know what she says.
All right, guys, we're down to our last 8.5 minutes.
You're
Ziggy,
kidding.
set timer. 8.5 minutes.
8 minutes and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Well, I switched to my next grid up, so it's feeling smoother.
I'm still carving.
Fred, are you gonna wood burn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna wood burn the little nostrils or nares. That's what that's one of
Oh.
the one I have. Looks
Yeah.
like it was done that way and make it a lot easier, I think.
Yep.
And draw the feather pattern in the way I want, or do like I think you made a copy and then burn through the paper from what I remember, maybe.
Yep, I did. Yeah.
This is looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Some definition going on here.
So since you're on a low budget there, Michelle, you can even go to dinner to Costco. Sometimes we go there and sometimes we eat both of us for like $7 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got this similar thing at Sam's Club. Delano and I, piece of pizza there is only like $1.50 or something. Big old piece of
Yeah.
pizza. It's not very good, but fills your tummy.
Well, we tried it. It wasn't too bad. We had the Costco pizza before, so we went there, and I don't think it's as big of a piece, but still, it was good. And the one at our Sam's Club was like a meat lovers that had bacon and ham and pepperoni.
That does
and
sound
stuff on
good.
it.
All right, you need to stop
Yeah.
talking about that because I'll be eating beans tonight. That's my dinner. Can of beans. But I make good beans with cheese and sour cream. Anyway, whatever I have on hand. Here we go.
You got
I
any
think-
gas X or anything around?
Oddly enough, I don't need it. It doesn't affect me that way for some reason. I don't know why. Anyhow, can you see my definition? I think you
Yep.
can.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I like that. It's
Working out.
definitely there, yep.
So made
Nice.
good progress. As I say, I told him last night I didn't even try. Last night I was like, you know what? I make good progress on Thursdays. I'll do Thursday. So thank you guys for joining me. And
Well, this one has better definition of that cheek or whatever.
wow. And it is smooth. It looks so smooth. That almost looks Aztec-y.
Versus
Doesn't it,
this
Barry?
one where
Yeah,
the
Show-
cheek is
show-
a little.
Show the other one. It reminds me of Aztec design there. The beak.
So that's
That's
where
pretty
I
cool
am.
looking.
yep. You've gotten pretty good there, Fred.
Yeah.
I like what I see.
Thank you.
Come a long way, baby. We all have, I guess. Someone asked me how to do something, and I said, you know, after you do it 100 times, it'll seem easy. That's what my dad
Right.
always said. 100 times. What if it's not? Is that number 9? This is my 7. I'm gonna put my stuff up this time. It is not my 7. Where did the 7 go? That might be what fell on the floor. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? My foot will find it. And fit. That doesn't fit. That can be it. Missing pieces. All right. This goes on something. Wonder what? Maybe that's. Nope. Yes. This, but I don't know what goes only. This has one of these. Talking myself through this. Thanks. Water. Water and alcohol.
Barry, did you end up painting that super glue on the beak or?
I tested it. I had a mock beacon, kind of a head that I made for testing on. I did put the super glue on that, and it convinced me to put it on this. And that's pretty much the next step. I'm gonna super glue the beak and all that part.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll be ready to paint the rest of it.
Well, your phone's in here. Do you want me to give you the phone?
So your wife didn't hear that part about being the best thing that ever happened to her, right?
Oh,
I
she
was
knows.
wondering.
Aren't I the best thing that ever happened to you?
Huh, let me think about that and get back.
I knew it. All right. Ziggy, stop. Gentlemen, as always, it has been a pleasure. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. It's been great.
And
See y'all.
Enjoy yourself on your trip to Branson, Fred.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I will see you, Barry, I guess on Wednesday and maybe
Yep.
Thursday if you're up for it.
Okay.
All right.
See y'all. See you in a couple weeks, Fred.
Okay. Thank you.
Have
Have a
fun.
good week.
You
Bye,
too.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
Michelle. See ya.